Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today we are talking about my Timemore Sculptor. We will play with a Timemore 064S. It's been designed mostly for espresso, although it can grind for a pour over as well. And it's a not bad grinder at all, especially for the price. I bought it on a Kickstarter for like £250. Not a perfect grinder, but I don't believe that any perfect grinder in existence, but it is very good. It has 64mm burrs, very popular burrs, so if you want to change them, you have many different options, although the burrs that are inside there are not bad at all. A bit tricky to get into those burrs, but maybe it's me, I'm not very good at DIY. But there is one thing about this grinder that it has been unheard of in this price range, and that's regulated RPM. You can find a knob on the posterior, and that can change the RPMs from 800 till 1200. Not necessarily easy to get to that knob because it's on the back of the grinder, but then again, how often do you change the RPMs? And the question that many people ask is, what is the best RPM for espresso? Well, I will try to find an answer today. So what the RPM does, at least from my own limited experience, the higher the RPMs, the more body you get and less clarity. So if, like myself, you like clarity in your cup, you may want to experiment with lower RPMs and see how you like it. Since I got this grinder, I've been mostly using 800 RPMs. I believe that's the best. Today we will actually put it into the test. So what I'm planning to do, I will pull 3 shots at 1200, 1000 and at 800. We will see how the time of extraction differs. If necessary, I will dial them in again. I want very similar time of extraction, maybe 2 seconds difference, no more than that. And then I will attempt to do the blind tasting. We have 3 cups on this plate. I will rotate it without looking. Underneath each cup there is a number, so that should be number 8, so that's for 800 RPMs. Number 1, that's for 1000, and 1.2, that's for 1200 RPMs. I will choose one at random, taste it, I will choose another, taste it, and so on. I will wash my mouth in between each, and then I will share with you my honest opinion. We're going to use La Marzocco Liva style profile on this end, but today, because those shot glasses are small, I only have 2 of my larger glasses. I will do 18 grams of coffee in and 39 grams of liquid out, and we will use coffee that likes that lower ratio. That's the Heresy coffee roasters from Poland. This particular one is the blend from Guatemala. They describe it as a classic espresso but with more juiciness and so on. What I like about them is that they put the roasting profile on the website as well, so you can check exactly how this particular coffee has been roasted. I mean, it's interesting for me, probably not for yourself. So, exciting video. If you're as excited as myself, definitely click like, sit tight and enjoy! Okay, so 3 shots are ready. It took me a long time to dial them in to the same time of extraction. To grind on the highest RPM, obviously it takes the fastest, about 15 seconds versus 17 on 1000, 22, 21, 22 on 800. And then the highest RPM, the fastest the extraction. So there was a difference between like 3-4 seconds in between each of those settings. I lowered the temperature of the last shot, so the difference in the temperature is not immediately obvious. So all shots juicy, all shots fruity. Differences are subtle here. This shot I like the least. Notes are slightly too harsh. I mean, by itself it's okay. When you compare with the other 2, this one is slightly worse. So I'm discarding this one. So the worst shot for today is... what is it? 1200. If you like loud notes, you may like this one, but they were slightly too loud. They were not playing nicely together. So we have those 2 shots in front of me, both of them very similar. Difficult for me to say which one I prefer most. See how much I already drank because I wasn't sure. So both balanced, both nice. It could go both ways here. I wasn't 100% sure. So guys, if you are still here, definitely click like, subscribe to the channel. I also started recently that subscription program. If you want to support the channel this way, you can join me there. This channel would not exist without a new equipment, and I cannot afford to buy as much as I would like. I'm recording this part of the video on another day. My results so far were inconclusive, so I had to be sure. I had to run a few more tests. I dialed this coffee to the perfection, no more than 1 second's time difference in between those shots, but the results were about the same, so very difficult to point at which one is significantly better. I still believe that at highest RPM the shot is slightly harsher, but it's not a huge difference. You would not notice that in isolation. I thought maybe it's me, maybe I'm not tasting those differences, you know, I'm just a regular person. I'm not somebody who's judging at World's Barista Championship, so I might not notice some nuances. So I also use my refractometer to test those shots. You will see the numbers on the screen, but they are about the same, and I've run this test 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Slowly but surely I'm reaching to the conclusion that variable RPM, at least on this grinder, at least with that medium roast coffee, that is a bullshit. Doesn't change that much. It's good to have it, we can still play with it, but if you don't have it, you are not missing that much. I mean, I still think that with the lighter roast, you may notice more differences. Also, variable RPMs is something that can influence the speed of extraction, so instead of just changing the grind settings, you can change the RPM. I've been reading about it, I've been thinking about it. People say that at highest RPM the grinder produces more fines than at the lowest RPM, and that would make sense. It's just that I don't understand why lowering RPM slows down the extraction, and I've done many tests. In fact, this morning when I'm recording this, I've run another one. I dial in the coffee at 1200, very low settings, 45 seconds. I purge the grinder. Even though this grinder, the retention is 0, it's probably the best grinder in terms of retention that I've ever had. I changed the RPM to 800, I've run the same shot, and now it took 55 seconds. That's a significant difference. If you have an explanation for that, please let me know in the comments. If you have grinder with variable RPMs, please let us know what is your favorite RPM for espresso and why. Plenty more things coming, but for today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack, this is my coffee show, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you, bye!